Standoffs. Just bold as brass. Let's go straight into the Fear and Greed Index. But before we do that, dear audience, let's go ahead and talk about something very near and dear to me. Thank you for bringing this channel almost all the way up to 10,000 subscribers. Your support is so appreciated. If you don't mind sharing this video and sharing this channel with people who you know are interested in cryptocurrencies and proof of work mining, as well as proof of stake and other considerations for people who are getting into cryptocurrency in a very deep and involved way, right? People who want to do more than just get a Coinbase account, then your support is so appreciated. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for sharing it. And it helps me know that I'm on the right track with the kind of content that I make. Back to the Fear and Greed Index. We have been ranging sideways in a very, very low, very, very extreme fear state for the last several days, about since BTC Miami. And coming out of that weekend, June 7th up through today, it's climbed a little bit, but we're still very much in the extreme fear range. Today's number is 23. How is this calculated? It's a number of factors, but most strongly weighted are the sentiment on Reddit and on Twitter. There's some other factors as well, such as price action, such as daily volume, but really it looks like there's still a lot of extreme fear, so to speak, in retail. Usually this indicates a really good opportunity to buy, but as per usual, none of what you see on this channel is any kind of advice. You're responsible for your own decisions. Act like it. So moving on from that, a headline that'll help in framing some of today's Fear and Greed Index is that the Fed is exploring an air quotes once in a century bid to remake the dollar. That's right. The central bank digital currency movement is alive and well. And if you've been following this channel for some time, then you maybe have some sense of what my feelings are on the matter. Do I think this is bullish for cryptocurrencies? No, I do not. I think that Fed involvement in generating a central bank digital currency is not a good thing for Bitcoin. If anything, what it does is it creates blockchain native analysis of the Bitcoin and Ethereum networks, and it gives the old guard of the central banks, right, and the Fed, it gives them more permission and more insight into digital currencies than I would like from a privacy perspective. They're still going to use privacy preserving techniques and technologies to conserve the large amounts that are held in their banks. Why wouldn't they let individuals do the same thing? It begs a lot of questions, right? Very easy to move funds where they don't belong when you have a bit of a privately controlled ledger, the way that central banks have for so long. But more on that on a separate video. Just wanted to share that headline with you. Link is down in the description. This is a big deal, and it will affect cryptocurrencies and the mining market very significantly in the coming weeks and months. I'm convinced of it, that this will affect your life as a miner. Let's jump over to what to mine to get a sense for what our numbers are right now, starting with the AMD Polaris 570. Then again, we had a really great time starting from the very bottom of the list. Let's start with the 380. Cost per power is 12 cents. Daily volume for the coins that we're interested in is over 5 Bitcoin every day. And the average profitability and the average in difficulty for revenue is the last 7 days. We want to have good averages here. Let's calculate those numbers. The 380 is no longer able to mine Ethereum, so that won't be on the list, but Ethereum Classic is still pretty high. These old 380 cards are still in the money, even on 12-cent power. Erasing that, going to the Fury and HBM, or high bandwidth memory card, but not an over 4 gig card. So you won't be able to mine Ethereum, but with Ravencoin, you are nearly at that dollar mark, and Ethereum Classic a little bit lower, about $0.50, and Beam almost 70 cents per day. Really great return on that Fury card, jumping up to the 570. Just suppose that this is a 4 gig model. Calculate for the 570, and Raven is at the top of the list there. No big surprise. Going to the 580, so we'll presume that this is an 8 gig card from the older Polaris architecture, and Ethereum, as you expect, is at the top of the list at almost $1.50 per day, not quite $1.45. And unfortunately, NiceHash is very high on that list. If you're watching this video, I'm going to encourage you to look at all of your other options outside of NiceHash from a purely ideological perspective. I know there are big channels in the mining space who advocate for NiceHash, I think that they're leading you astray. Just going to say that straight up. And I don't think that they're considering what the consequences could be of that recommendation. When I interviewed the lead at the community lead at Bitcoin Gold, and when I interviewed the community lead at some other projects, they basically admitted, I have yet to interview Bob Summerwell from the Ethereum Classic project. Bob, if you're watching, I'd love to make that happen at some point in the future. Great project with very good will there. But with the Bitcoin Gold team, they all but admitted that it was probably NiceHash that committed a 51% attack against their network and successfully stole almost $20 million worth of value from the Bitcoin Gold network during that attack. NiceHash is not a good actor in the space. They're not a good player. They're not a fair player. They're not good faith actors. You shouldn't do business with them if you can avoid it. Some other alternatives might be something like miningrigrentals.com. I don't have a referral link right now. Maybe I should put one in the description. Maybe at the end of this video I will. But the point is, NiceHash, not a great project. And in my opinion, you should not be supporting them, and publicly, you should not be endorsing them. So any kind of creators, if you're watching this video, without making it weird or personal, please stop endorsing these services. They're bad actors, and you make the world worse when you suggest them. You're good guys, you're good people, but please stop suggesting NiceHash. Okay, so back here, that's why I'm just gonna delete that top option right there of NiceHash. In my mind, is just dead to me. So not gonna even see that. Vega 56, so bottom of the line for the Vega cards and Vega architecture with HBM2 on board, just over $2 for Ethereum, and nothing else comes quite as close, almost $2.20. Quite a big disparity there between those two options. But then again, we don't have optimized numbers. Is it possible maybe that you're gonna get more than 45 mega hashes out of your Vega 56? Maybe. Let's go to the Vega, the top of the line for Vega series, Radeon 7. Calculate for that. Again, we're looking at 7 days at 12 cent power. So these are not the most optimized numbers, but you're almost $5 of daily profit, more than double with Vega 56. Double over Vega 56. Pretty impressive right there. Bottom of the line for both 5000 series and 6000 series, just based on what's available at whattomine.com. And top of the list, we still have Ethereum with almost $4.50 between those two cards, weighted more heavily towards the 6000 series, 5700 XT and 6800 XT. So top of the line on 5000 and 6000 series, newer architecture cards. Still Ethereum with about $6.25, weighted more heavily towards the 6000 series. Team Green, let's go with our high efficiency plays: 1060, 1660, 2060, and 3060. No TI models here. We're just going to look at the bottom of the line, highest efficiency cards. And again, you've heard me in my spreadsheets, which I'll do an update of very, very soon, talk about how the 1060 was one of the best possible cards you could have bought back in its day. A lot of them are still in service, still hashing profitably, and I think we're going to see that validated right here in these numbers. So scrolling down, we see the Ethereum is top of the list, $5.50, split between 4 cards, more heavily on the 3000 series card from NVIDIA. We won't do a full breakdown there, but let's go top of the line now. 3090, 2080 Ti. Go with the 1660 Ti, we'll add that there, and then the 1080 Ti, so we've got 4 cards there as well. Calculating for profit, and again, the 3090 is going to represent almost half of our hash rate here, but we're at over $11, almost $12, roughly nearly $6 going to the 3090 in the newer NVIDIA lineup. Okay, so we see that Ethereum isn't going anywhere, and right now, while proof of work is still active, it's still profitable to keep your rigs running. What does that mean for people who are about to enter into the space and maybe buy GPUs? Well, there's some sentiment and there's some development in the Ethereum space that we need to be aware of. Proof of work will ultimately go away at some point. However, it's not perfectly clear exactly when that will be. I know you've watched videos from other creators in the space saying like, hey, you've got more time to mine Ethereum. Wait, pump the brakes. Just kidding. Maybe you don't. I think that the truth is somewhere in between. We will probably not see proof of work go away super fast in favor of the ETH2 beacon chain. And we probably won't see it take as long as the full ETH2 rollout towards the end of maybe 2022. It's probably going to be somewhere in between. There's likely likely going to be some kind of an announcement from the Ethereum developer team, something that just has not developed quite yet in terms of them talking about it, having public conversations. That's my gut feeling. So you take that with a grain of salt. But I don't think we have only 3 months left or 6 months left. And I definitely don't think that we have a full 18 months left either. So it's somewhere in between. Maybe we've got a full year. Maybe we've only got 8 or 9 months. But I don't think we have only 6 months left on Ethereum for mining. Just my take on it, guys. Again, take that with a grain of salt. After the London hard fork update, or after Berlin, I'm getting confused, guys. Just you're all over the map, literally. So after EIP 1559 goes live, I think we're going to see that it edges out some less serious competitors with not a low enough cost basis for their power, but still profitable for miners. All right, that was a mouthful. Let's go into a bit of our profitability for Bitcoin mining. And we're going to go with not any kind of custom overclocking. We're not custom. There we go. Bitmain. We're going to go with the S9 as our baseline model right now. Cost for power to be competitive with an Antminer S9 is 10.2 cents. Kind of an oddball number there. Let's just round down to 10 cents. If you have over 10 cent power, you're not in the game with the Antminer S9. If you have closer to 3 cent power, which is kind of a unicorn, then fine, maybe. If, however, you have something along the lines of commercial power at 8 cents, that's more achievable in a lot of states here in the United States anyway, then you're still in the money. It's going to take you a while to mine one, and it's going to cost you about $28,000. So with current profitability, it's really not a bad proposition at all. If it's possible for the market to climb back up as we see a bit of a return to high profit in the Bitcoin space, Bitcoin's price going back over 40,000 or 50,000, or who knows, maybe over 80,000 or 100,000 at the end of this bull run, which we're not close to yet, then this is a really great acquisition price for Bitcoin. So even the Antminer S9, I think, is in really good standing right now. If you can manage to hold on to those Bitcoin that you mine with the S9 until the end of this bull run, and then either choose your exit point or choose your pegging point, getting into some kind of a stable coin on exchange, or figuring out what you need to do, maybe paying off equipment, taking profits organically in that way. You make your own choices there. But I think you're in good shape even with the Antminer S9, which is unbelievable, right? These things should have been retired a couple years ago. They're still in production, still kicking butt. Let's take a look at a different piece of hardware. Go with the WhatsMiner. Middle of the line, we're going to go with the M20. I was going to say M21S. Maybe, gosh darn it. Yeah, let's go with the M21S. I'm going to go with or the M21S Plus. Go with that. You know what? Gosh darn it. I think the M20S actually has a higher hash rate. How is that even possible? I don't know. So 68 terahash there on the M20S from MicroBT or WhatsMiner. And we've got nearly $16,000 that we're producing each Bitcoin for our cost. And you're profitable all the way up to 17.8 cents per kilowatt hour on your cost basis for power. That's pretty amazing. If you had lower, like the 12-cent power we've been talking about, you're still just fine. Let's go ahead and just type that in really quickly. And this is even including a 2% pool fee. Maybe you're able to shave that down to just 1%. But at 12-cent power, you're producing one full Bitcoin at $4,000 less than you would on an Antminer S9 on 8-cent power, right? So with that Antminer S9, you've got to seek at least 8-cent power to make it even, to have it make sense at all. I know it said 10-cent power, but really, if you want to carve out some profit margin for yourself, you have to go even lower than that. So I don't think that's the full story. But those are a couple of models there for our ASICs that'll make sense to you. Jumping back over to CoinGecko, let's check out some of our portfolio after we check out the markets from a bird's eye view. Bitcoin at 35.8, almost 35.9. It's up 1.5% in the last 24 hours. Ethereum up to, down to 23.44. Not its finest hour, dropping 2.5% in the last day. Tether moving sideways. What does it mean? Okay, other notable coins in this space that are for proof of work. Got Dogecoin. It's still in the top 10. It just refuses to die. There it is. Just like a bad penny, keeps turning up. And then for miners who are into Ethereum, of course, we're interested in what Uniswap is doing only because it is an indicator of the health of the ecosystem, not necessarily because you had the airdrop or because you're holding the airdrop or because it's a good coin for you, but just because it helps to indicate whether or not DeFi is still working. And here it is, top 10. I'd say that's good evidence of a very healthy DeFi ecosystem and a very healthy Ethereum ecosystem. Frankly, Polkadot and Uniswap running neck and neck, with Uniswap a little bit ahead. They keep on taking that pole position ahead of each other in the smart contract and DeFi space. I know that a lot of people say that Polkadot is not meant to be a competitor to Ethereum, and that's probably true, but it is meant to be part of a DeFi ecosystem and have its own parachains and side chains. There's so many little moving parts that help fuel a rich DeFi ecosystem on Polkadot that are just being built now. I know, was it the Kusama, what was it happening on Kusama? I apologize. I have to have Claudio from Crypto's chain back on this channel, don't I? I probably do. Here's the thing. Does it affect us in proof of work land on GPUs? Probably not. Let's jump back into those coins that do help us with proof of work. Check out our portfolios so we can get that full picture of what's happening with those coins. And from our portfolios, hit the drop down, go to the GPU list. Top of the list is Flux, and it looks like our total P&L for this little portfolio, we're down $2,300, meaning 13.6% or 13.7%. Not great. Our 24-hour portfolio change, we're up, but since we started this little portfolio, we're down, significantly down. Top of the list is Flux, which is awesome. Good job, Flux team. And at over $1,300, they are head and shoulders above everything else. Ethereum is below the $1,000 mark, so less than what we put into the portfolio when we first started it. Every one of these coins, we started with $1,000 to see how it would move from that date. Check out those videos on the playlist for our mining market signal up in the corner, and you can kind of check to see the progression over time. But we always start each new coin that's added to the portfolio with $1,000 the day we add it. Unfortunately, most of these coins have not performed super well. Ethereum, it's the least worst performing, but it's not performing well, right? It's still down. Ren BTC and Wrap Bitcoin are right behind it, still in the sort of like mid 900s range, which is hopeful, but not great. Ravencoin also relatively high on the list in the 900s, but bottom of the stack is BitTube. BitTube is way down, almost 40% down from the time that we added it to our portfolio, which just makes me sad. I know that the BitTube team has worked really hard to try to create something that they felt was a good value, and they work in the crypto node space, which I've got a soft spot in my heart for. So that's a bummer. Zano also that way down 30%. Swap is way down to 30%. Haven 20% down, not quite as far down as they are, but right along with Ryo Currency and Conceal, all in the 21% range down. Mimblewimble coin almost 20% down. Beam and Firo over 15% down. Ethereum Classic almost 15% down. And even Conflux and Ergo, which were just kicking butt in the mining profits, have their coin value quite a bit down. Over 10% for Conflux, just over 5% for Ergo, almost 7% there. Ravencoin performing admirably, and with the profits being so high, this bodes well for GPU miners. But let's move from our GPU portfolio to our hard drive portfolio. Top of the list is still MadeSafe coin. Looks like the total portfolio P&L is down 6%, which is still better than the GPU portfolio. This has been a consistent theme since we started these portfolio trackers. Filecoin is below the $1,000 mark. Everything else is. Bottom of the stack is Chia, 51% down. If you had invested in Chia at the time that we made this portfolio, you would have lost over half your money. If you thought that you should buy hardware to try to obtain Chia using a calculation of $1,600 per coin, and then believing that it would go up exponentially after that, you would be way down, and you'd be saddled with hardware that you're waiting to win a lottery from. Unless you're mining to a pool, in which case you're getting small daily payouts and you're chipping away at the debt you incurred to get equipment that is not returning on the investment yet. That's unfortunate. I think that the Chia team, they probably mean well, most likely, but here they are at the very bottom of the stack, way below Burst, which is second to the bottom, but not even quite half the amount of loss right there in the portfolio. Siacoin, also a bit of a surprise, down 23%. Storage, 14%. Filecoin, just over 2%, almost 3%. MadeSafe coin is really carrying this portfolio. That's the whole reason that we haven't lost nearly as much much as our GPU mineable coins, that is rough. Because our biggest loser in the hard drive space, Chia, as the biggest loser in this portfolio, well, it's lost a bit more actually than in the GPU, with BitTube losing about 40%. It's lost even more of its value than BitTube. So I don't know what's going on there. Really don't understand it. Maybe it's because of the pools having problems. Maybe it's because of the PR being a problem with them first attempting to go after somebody for trademark violation, obtaining a website that had the word Chia and plot in the name, and then pulling back from that. They kind of look a little bit schizophrenic. Like, what's it going to be? Is it attack somebody who has your trademark, or is it step back because you actually want to look like good actors in the space and you don't want to be eaten alive by the open source community? So I don't know what's going on there, guys. Get your act together. Let's go over to CPU mineable coins and check to see what's a winner there. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, so our total portfolio for CPU mineable coins is way down, even below our GPU mineable coins by just a little bit. 16.3%, kind of a bummer. Bottom of the stack is Varus, and it's down the worst. But again, relative to the other portfolios, it's only down 31%. The issue is every coin is down since we added it. Unfortunately, Monero and Monero, Raptorium, all very, in my opinion, they're high merit projects because of what they're trying to do, the amount of development, and then the fact that Monero is a test net for Monero. It's pretty awesome. They do some things there that nobody else does. They're also a bit of a meme coin, but they're above Doge, which I think if you talk to anybody at Monero, they would say that's the entire point, is to just be ahead of Doge in terms of coin value. So I think they're winning in that respect, but the portfolio is down, and that's a bummer, guys. Big bummer. ASIC mineable coins, looks like our total PNL is 14% down, which is also a huge bummer. Top of the stack is Decred, but it's still at just barely in the 900s. Got several coins that are Pirate Chain and Bitcoin as well. So Pirate Chain experienced quite a bit of loss over the last 7 days, 24% down, which is just what a kick to the teeth, right? That's unfortunate because it was just surging before, ripping before, and now coming back down pretty aggressively over the last 7 days. Bitcoin is up over the last 7 days, which is awesome, but it's kind of ranging sideways, guys, if we're being honest. It's not really doing a whole lot, right? That meme with the guy poking it with a stick, like, come on, do something. That's Bitcoin right now. Bottom of the list is Dash. It's a real bummer for Dash masternode holders, but at the same time, that's the entire point, I think, of having Dash at all, or even mining Dash, is to add to masternode holdings so that you can have a larger masternode that helps you earn more passively. Horizon is towards the bottom of the list there as well. Don't know what's going on there, but it's a bummer. Guys, those are our portfolios on CoinGecko. Thanks so much for checking out the full lineup there. What did I miss from this edition of the Mining Market Signal? Let me know that in the comments, guys. I know I can count on you. I know I can count on you to let me know what I missed and what I can improve to make this the best mining market show for you that exists on YouTube. Guys, really appreciate it. Love your face. You're the reason I make this media. Remember to stay private and mine your biz.
Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.